My name is Bradley Soileau. I was born in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, and I am 27 right now. I want to say it was in between like 8 and 13 is when I like figured out about it, I guess. Like, you know, like when you're that young, you don't even really know what's going on. I was really into skateboarding and picked up guitar at 8. So I think it was like shortly after that when I got into like punk and hardcore, and like everybody's covered in tattoos and those were my role models. So that's when I started wanting tattoos. My homie Pace from Colorado has tattooed me several times. This kid, Justin Gerald from Florida, has tattooed me several times. I got tattoos in jail from a couple kids, and then I also have been tattooed by a newer person I've been tattooed by is Sean from Texas, and he works at Tattoo Mania on Sunset Boulevard. This kid named Jason in Florida, I don't know his last name, but he did a couple of my tats also. And then there's like a few from like random shops, like a drunken night somewhere or something, and I don't remember who they are from. But yeah, Grimes is like someone I've always, the fact that he's a burn victim and like just his artwork is like so on point, but it's like a crazy weight. But eventually I would like to get a tattoo from him. Dr. Wu from Sharon Rock Club, like just cause like his line work and detail for like miniature tattoos is just, it's insane. Like he takes like a picture and makes it on your skin and it's so good. He's someone that like I really like, but he's a little more tangible than Grimes is right now. And then I really like Dave Quiggle, man. Dave Quiggle, or is it Dave? Dave's the one that tattoos, right? Because I know it's the Quiggle brothers. I think it's Dave Quiggle. It's the Quiggle brothers. They were in some hardcore bands, and Dave Quiggle does just like, he did a lot of like artwork for hardcore bands for like tees, like, you know, CD covers and stuff, and he just has like a really good, like his own like traditional like style, and it's like really cool, and I've always liked his stuff. I followed it since I was really young. My first tattoo was 3 X's because I was straight edge. Hey, so I got that and I don't have it anymore. I got it covered up, and I actually got bigger X's on the back of my leg. That's why I covered it up. I had got it right here on my arm and then covered it up with it's a killer whale eating Curious George, and yeah, and then I just got 3 more X's for, you know, whatever. I don't really have a lot of meaning for like my tattoos, but I would say actually my forehead, it says War Inside My Head. It's a Suicidal Tendency song. They're like one of my favorite bands, but it also has like the meaning that like I have a complete and a constant battle between like good and evil going on in my mind. Like whether it be to do the right or the wrong, or whether, you know, whatever it is, there's always a battle between light and dark. And that's why I put that on my forehead. Like it was a lot of things. For me, it was like coming of age. Like it's like, yo, you're about to get your face tattooed. You've got to figure out life like after this. Like it's not playing around anymore. You can't get jobs, you can't do anything. So it was like a dedication for me and like a test for me, but it's also just like everyone has a battle going on in their head. Like everyone has a war between right and wrong. So like that it's always been like the one thing that like, oh, that's the one that I always think of as my favorite, and like it always has like the most meaning. I like traditional, hands down, old school traditional. That's where it started. It's minimal, there's not a lot to it. It's cut and dry what it is, tattooing. Like, the real art form of it, like, you know, like you're just, it's punk rock. You're putting like a picture on your skin, like, I don't know. There's no frills, no bullshit. Society's views on tattoos shouldn't be anything. Like, I understand when it was like, starting out, like it was criminals that were tattooing and criminals that were getting tattooed, but it wasn't all criminals. But yes, at one point it was the lower life forms of the world that were getting tattoos. But now it's like everybody's getting tattoos. Like, get over it. Like, the world, no one should have anything to say about it at this point. Like, yeah, if you go get Drake on your forehead, yeah, I get it, someone's gonna say something, but like, at this point, does it really matter? Like, you can wear a dress, but you can't get a tattoo. You can do you can do this, but you can't get a tattoo. You can do that, but you can't get a tattoo. Like, you're gonna look at me some kind of way because I put art on my skin. It doesn't really make sense. And like, for me as a model, like, there's still like, not like a prejudice against it, but it's still like, yo, like, some people won't book me because I have a forehead tattoo or a face tattoo. And like, I understand it because you're paying money for a product, basically. Like, you're buying a person's image for your image. So you pick there's a million models, you pick what you want, but like, yo, who do people look up to these day and age? Like the bad boys, the kids with tattoos that like did their own thing. And so like, I feel at this time, like, people should just get over it and like let people live and like stop with the bullshit. So as my career as a model, it's helped me get a lot of cool jobs. Now, when it comes to the money and it being a career, I don't know because everything's so volatile, but I have a good idea that if I didn't have any of these tattoos and I was just who I was, I probably wouldn't have this job because I'd have like a lot of money. Like, you know, I've got friends doing polo making 100K. Like, you know, like people doing Calvin Klein making 500K. Like, people, there's a lot of money there, but it is for like the clean cut person, like, you know. And so in a way it's been a damper, but in a way it's also made me kind of like more than just a model and like a thing, because it's like, oh, this person has more than just a face, it's like a personality behind them and a story. And I think that will help me in the long run in like things I want to do in the future, aside from modeling, because modeling is only going to last so long. So I've had this conversation with a few people. I'm in a weird place. I'm in like a limbo. Like, I was before a model in Louisiana. I was treated differently. People, you know, would look at me a certain way. And then, you know, in other countries, like, people stop to stare and they like want to take a look, because like in other countries, like, it's not as big and prominent as it is in America. But now, as a model, I'm kind of in this limbo where like, it doesn't matter. Like, nothing matters. Like, what would normally matter for a normal person, it doesn't matter to me. So I'm in this place where like, people don't care about the tattoo so much anymore. Now, that's in like the world. Now in like the professional world, yeah, I'm not gonna get a job. Probably a lot of places. I have a record and tattoos on my hands and face, you know, those are job stoppers. But in like my world, like, nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. See, a lot of my tattoos are just, what they're supposed to be, their artwork. I feel like a lot of people like get caught up on like, I have to get a story. There's gotta be a story and meaning behind it. And to me, it's like, if you buy a Basquiat, is there meaning behind it? No, you bought a Basquiat because you liked his artwork. And there's a little bit of history behind it, and maybe he had a story behind it, but at the end of the day, you bought it because you liked it aesthetically. So for me, like, a lot of this is just aesthetic. But that being said, I do have at least a few with like a story behind it or something. Like most of this sleeve work I got when I did some time in Florida. I did a little prison bid, and so while I was there, I was like, you know what? I don't plan on coming back, so I'm gonna get some tattoos. And so the majority of all this was done in jail. And it's just like, you know, like waste time away, like I'm just sitting in jail, wasting time away. A lot of it's like traditional like tattoos, like jail tattoos, like a prison guard, tower, you know, like spider web. That's like traditional of the women's faces and the rose. It's just like jail tattoos. And then here on my leg, I have a funny little tattoo that has a little story behind it. So this is a strawberry nipple. I mean, a strawberry with a nipple on it with chocolate sauce, and it says naughty girl. And basically this comes to like, I spent some time with a homie on Thanksgiving years back in Louisiana. And like, it was Thanksgiving, we were sitting in a tattoo shop. He was apprenticing, and we were just sitting there like, no one's gonna get tattooed on Thanksgiving, especially in Louisiana. There's not a lot of people getting tattooed, period. So we were just sitting there drinking, and like, this lady came in and she just wanted like, just like a hood tattoo. And I was like, she was trying to be a little avant-garde or whatever. So I was just drunk and I was like, yo, why don't you just get like a strawberry with a nipple in it? Because she wanted something sexy, and I was like, that's something no one's ever done, and that's like sexy. And like, she wasn't down, but after she left, my friend was like, you have to get that tattoo now. So we did it, and it's like a sacred heart. So it has like the flames, but it's actually just a strawberry with a nipple with chocolate sauce. And naughty girl in cursive. Whatever. This doesn't necessarily have that much meaning left anymore, but this is like one of my first tattoos. And it's 3 dice, all rolled to 6, and it says God free, just because at one point I was very adamantly a non-believer in God, and I still don't really believe in God, but I've lessened up on like the so against it, and now it's just like, I don't care. Like, you love God, that's cool, I don't care.